We are group number 1. We call ourselves Jack Come Back. I will present to you our group members and their main responsibility. Simon and Andre are responsible for coding, Carolina and Eva for design, Hannah and Eva for UX design. Right now, you're looking at our collaboration agreement, which was very useful for us at the beginning just to set some ground rules of working in our group to make sure that we're on the same page. Our given style was collage, and our music was Carl Nielsen Clarinet Concerto, Good Man. We've decided to make a story inspired by the movie Titanic. Here is our persona's collage. Clearly it indicates as a typical young woman and can describe herself as a hopeless romantic. She has a little bit of edge, most probably owns a small dog, dresses in Forever 21, that kind of store, wears old Ugg shoes, smokes cigarettes. Her natural environment is her bed, watching romantic movies and eating ice cream straight from the box. Here's our storyboard. We tried to stick to it, but in the process of building our animation, we adjusted it more to the user experience and feedback we got from our testers. This is why you'll see some differences between the storyboard and our final work. All the camera angles are on the side of the ship, so our shots are horizontal. You can see the camera movement, and most of the shots are static and animated elements are moving from right to the left or center. The design was made with multiple layers of different images and characters stacked on top of each other to give that collage style. We picked very simple colors that we found online while searching for inspiration from the real Titanic. The music we were giving Carl Nielsen suits our style as it is a romantic slow, complementing the storyline of Titanic. There is one particular scene in the animation where the music stops as the ship sinks, much like in Titanic where they continue to play till their last breath. Our experts were Tabea from Group 2 and Sander from Group 8. We showed them the prototype of our animation and let them interact with it. After they got familiar with it, we asked them a few relevant questions. The most important conclusions from our peer review were
Guys, that's great.
that the buttons in the animation needed some extra work to make them more clear to the user, and overall animation may have seemed a little chaotic.
There's a lot going on.
We did our best to fix our problems and brought to our attention by our experts. Thanks for that. And now brought to you by Simon and Andre.
Good. So in JavaScript, we have first our sequence diagram, which I've redrawn in draw.io, which shows our kind of what events I needed to make in JavaScript with the Easter eggs and a prompt and the different timers. So the code, we go to the top. We have a lot of variables. Most of them are constant because they're not going to be changed. We have some that's lets. For example, down here we have a credit count, which is kind of just a normal variable, but I haven't defined it, but it still works as a normal variable. And we have some different Easter egg settings here. For example, here is King of the World, the women speak, Easter egg here. We have the function for for the Easter egg. Then we have our scene 1, which also includes a mute button for the music if we want to do that before we actually start the sequence. Then we have our entire sequence of events going here, which links all the way down to scene 4, where we have our main options, whether you can choose who will win and who will die, plus the different Easter eggs we showed in the sequence diagram. And it's been fun to learn all of this.
Hi everyone, I'm going to talk a little bit about the HTML and the CSS code that we did for the project. As you can see here, everything is pretty well organized into sections, each one of the sections being a scene. Alright, nothing else here, let's get to the CSS. This thing right here is called CSS reset, and it makes sure that everything looks the same in all browsers, because some of the browsers can have different default settings. We used the z-index property to change the stacking order of the elements because of the backgrounds and the foregrounds. And one of the animations that I did is the one for the waves. The waves are just a few divs with different background images, and the animation for them is just switching from margin left -50 pixels to margin left -5 5 pixels, and I kinda changed the animation duration for each one of them so it looks like they act different on their own. So yeah, that's it.
No, he cannot blow you off like that.